something you don't know.
Hey guys, good evening. Today we have a new friend, Sunita. She's a teen coach. She's been doing this at a global platform. She's been traveling across different countries and doing the coaching and training for the parents and teenagers and women with respect to a lot of aspects which she's known for. There are 4 to 5 C's she really focuses on, and I've seen a couple of workshops, I've seen a couple of videos, and they're pretty interesting. I've seen the testimonials. They are inspiring. There are testimonials from women, there are testimonials from teenagers and parents where her workshops have really transformed them to the next level. And she believes in life balance. So we commonly say work life balance, and that actually that is a brand name, that is my brand name. But she believes that work should not come first, but it should be coming later. So it's life balance. So we'll hear more about Sunita from her. Sunita, a lot of people follow this particular community. So we want to know about you. Where are you from? Where are your roots from? And then what made you get into this passion of coaching? And especially teenagers, because वो किसी की नहीं सुनते, they're like they don't listen to anybody. And parents, because parents like us are pretty much confused. So we want to hear from you about yourself and then your journey. Over to you, Sunita.
Yeah. Hi, Ravi. Thank you so much for having me on this platform. So I'm Sunita, an international parent and teen coach currently residing in Bangalore. Since you want to hear about my roots, I hail from Warangal in Andhra Pradesh. I was born and brought up there. I finished my post-graduation master's in plant sciences with biotech as a specialization, and received gold medal in my MSc. And I am so proud of my parents who have imparted simplicity, ethics, and goodness. I think that is what is continuing. After coming to Bangalore, I wanted to really utilize all the resources in Bangalore. So I started attending innumerable number of trainings, more so when I became a young mom and I did not have anybody in Bangalore to support me. So that was when I thought I should go and learn from other people. And I started attending lots and lots of workshops. And later on, people started approaching me for tiny, tiny inputs. And I realized that those inputs were working for them. Though I started to help my own family, so I am a mother of 2 boys right now. The elder one is doing an undergrad course in Harvard University, and younger one is in 12th grade, and I am wife of a software architect. All the journey in Bangalore has been education, learning, and arts, music, dance, poetry, nature. So totally the whole life has been on this pathway. And I never thought that I would become a parent coach later on, looking at all sorts of the concerns, including my own concerns at my own home. Then listing out all the concerns from several parents, I understood that this field in this generation requires some special attention, because a lot of people might say our parents didn't need any coaches, our grandparents didn't need any coaches, but the circumstances are so different. Right now, we know the children are exposed to multiple streams of information, and they are quite smart, and still there are so many challenges also. So when I was going through all the phases of life, so the preteen phase and the teenager phase, I understood that there's so many areas we feel we are competent enough, but unfortunately, when the challenge is in front of us, it always sometimes ends up in a conflict or stress in the family, and more so the stress between the couples when they say it's because of you. The child has turned out like this, or it could be vice versa, blaming game. And also sometimes children not respecting the parents, thinking that the parents are old generation type, modern, they are not up to our level of thinking. Same way parents thinking that children are too ahead of them. And there is a lot of gap I have noticed. And I realized that when I was coached for the first time, coaching opened up so many possibilities, because it really puts us on a new path of co-creation. and creating the life for the family. So that has brought me into the space of coaching, and I love coaching. I'm passionate about coaching. I promote coaching. I recommend everybody to at least experience coaching once.
Wow. Yep, that passion is visible, or we can hear it in the energy with which you're actually saying it. And you have impacted 1 lakh students and 50,000 parents. I mean, that number is not a small number. So how was that journey?
It's like initially when I started, I was scared because every time you are teaching something about parenting to somebody, it's like you are on the scanner.
Hmm.
And all the time, everybody wants to check out, oh, how are your children? What is happening in your home? So I had to break the barrier that everybody has their own way of life. So my children also will find their own path of life. So when I broke that myth and barrier, I thought this is my space to be in, and I started just with the thought process of bringing productivity for the child. Every parent wants the child to be smart or
Hmm.
intelligent, successful. That is the aspiration of every parent. So when I started later, I thought children are having less problems, but actually parents are having more problems because of their work pressure and whatever they are doing. Every time they come back home, parents are more stressful than children. Then I thought I was going to different schools to do life skill program. I thought more than children now, parents need some help on this. And it started with productivity. Later on, it moved on to well-being.
Hmm.
Later on, it moved on to the parental conflicts as to why two smart people, intelligent people who have all the solutions at office or at the workplace, but when it comes back to the home, the conflicts are sometimes like unresolvable. So all the spaces I have touched and all the age groups I've touched, like young parent, mid-aged parents, now even grandparents, in-laws. I have seen all the stories, heard all the stories, and range of problems. Like what is in one family or what is in another family. It's like it's I should say I'm blessed to be able to comprehend multiple aspects. So now when I coach, I can really help the people see multiple perspectives which suits their family, their unique structure, their child temperament, and the parents' temperament.
Wow. Wow. And I'm sure that is not tough. It is not just doing a session and, just telling them, these are the formulas, you implement it and, it would work. I'm sure that there's a lot of, coaching and hand to hand mentoring that is required to, make them achieve this particular goal. So, okay, before we get on to a lot of questions that I have personally, okay, we'll play a short video which talks about Sunita's actual promo, which she showcases. I think this should be played so that people who are watching this know this well, and then we'll get back to the questions. So here is the video.
I'm living my life to the fullest potential with awareness, grace, qualities, and skill set. And it did not come naturally.
Although the title is Parenting Transformation Workshop, but I find that it is also a very good guidance as a personal growth development.
Such an enlightening enrichment of the mind.
It has been very helpful for us being challenging life in London.
We are awesome, wonderful parents.
I believe each human being is a marvel, and each being has the potential to create and lead a miraculous life.
Wow. Those workshops should be really fun, right? So many parents.
Yeah.
This is good. So, Sunita, for a layman to understand, because some of these terminologies have like recently come up. So, what does the parenting coach or a parent coach do exactly? What is the role they play?
So earlier, people have heard only about the sports coaches.
Hmm.
You rightly said parent coach is a very, very new term, at least in India, though it's been there for 3, 4 years. But I think it's literally a mastery space to really understand the phases of life. So what parent coach does is he or she, when they have one-on-one conversation with the parent, they try to understand the family structure, their aspirations, their challenges, because sometimes some families might have health challenges, wealth challenges, communication challenges, and also generational challenges, also, which everybody inherits. So, when the parent coach sits with the parents, they understand what are the aspirations of the parents, also aspirations of the children as a family. Generally, none of us are prepared for a parenting journey. Generally, people plan careers and other financial things, but parenting journey, majority of them don't plan. When they sit with the parenting coach generally brings all the aspects. They almost like open up the blueprint of their family and help them during different phases of what are the appropriate steps to be taken. So why I tell this is majority of the parents of the modern generation, because definitely all the children are much much smarter than the previous generation. So the parents make an error by thinking that my child is smarter, he will figure it out.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, that window period is missed out, where the child's real talents and whatever the skill development or honing has to take place, that is missed out. And suddenly, by the time the child comes to 11th grade, the grades are dropping, and the child sometimes might get into some wrong company, and the parents are shocked. And many times, all the parents whom I coach, they said, we never ever assume that our child will turn out like this, because we have been hardworking parents, or we came to a stage because of our work. So parent coach helps them to foresee certain things, help them plan, and according to the phases they can help them recognize the indicators, recognize the talents, and see which path the family wants to go ahead. At the same time, help them with the stress management as well.
Wow. So, do you feel that everybody should have this, or everybody should go through this particular journey, or only when their kids have a challenge or they're confused, they feel that there is something wrong going with the family uh, between parents, as kids and parents? Is that the only time they should approach or consult a parenting coach? So, when is this requirement, or uh, when should be this infused into a family?
So what I recognized over the years, earlier I used to think only when the child has a problem, then the parent should come. I used to think like that long back. But now what I recognize is just 1 or 2 sessions with the parent coach can help them avoid 60 to 70% problems which might surface. Because each family has a different problem and range of problems. So I would now recommend every parent to just take 1 or 2 sessions, just go through. Why? Because sometimes the children are thriving, at the same time there is a huge gap happening between the couples also. And ultimately at the end of the day, it's like, they say because of me or because of you, whatever it is. So in order to cultivate that companionship also, it helps that while the children are thriving and succeeding, even they get an opportunity. Otherwise, I have seen all the people who have touched 50, 55, they felt something, a rift happening in between couples while the children become teenagers. So I would recommend everybody can take at least 1, 2 sessions, not because there's a problem, but to avoid the problems also.
Good point. I like that. So it's something like precautions, or at least plan out. Do it the right way. Just in case we are doing a mistake, you will have an evaluation parameter there. So how do you help teens? Because that's a category which I am like scared. I have 2 sons, and the second one turned a teen today. So how do you manage team? How can this help teens?
Okay, so teenagers, since my children have passed that phase, I can actually give you first-hand inputs. It's like whenever there are two children, sometimes one turns out to be really proactive and one turns out to be sometimes procrastinating. So proactive people have their own challenges, procrastinating people also have their own challenges. So now when a boy or a girl, basically when they come into the age frame of 13 or 14, it's almost like they're preparing themselves for life. So now at the time, sometimes the children might have a thought process that I want to have fun. This is my teen life. I want to enjoy. What is the parents are telling me to study or whatever, I'll figure out later. But that window period is, if they are by themselves proactive or driven, if they can navigate, then they can stand on their own feet by the time they're 21. Often I have met children, not children, adults who have come to the age group of 23, 24, and they did not settle properly. They came back and said, I wish my parents had guided me better. So I would say by the time the children turn 13, 14, if the parents help them to set some tiny goals, the children start preparing themselves for the life, and by the time they come to 11th and 12th grade, they are equipped to take on that stress or the bigger challenges. But if the parents leave them on their own, some children figure out, some might not figure out. But this is my personal opinion that in that window period, I'm very ardent follower of Maslow pyramid. Maslow pyramid, the lower rung is like roti kapda makan. So that is one thing. First, parents have to ensure the children stand on their own feet, and the window period is where they develop the skills to become that. And as the market is changing right now, we know machines are doing more work than humans. So now what sort of the job industry they would be going? So lot of innovative thinking, creative thinking. This help is needed from the parents or teachers or elder brother, sister, role models. Children, teenagers, pre-teenagers definitely need some role models to look up to.
Yeah, good point. So, Sunita, you're also a voice coach. So, what does that role involve? Is it like, getting yourself tuned as to how you talk, or is it like, understanding the importance of voicing out your opinion? So, what does a voice coach or that voice coaching involve?
So there are two aspects. Generally, people go for coaching to impress the audience with the quality of the voice. The trainers, coaches who wants to really speak confidently and throw the voice in a way that it's impacting the people. I have another zone where I'm also into singing. So in order to sing and express, what I realized is when we understand the combination of expression and also feeling the emotion, what happens is the tonality just does not fall on the ears, but rather it goes and puts its imprint on the heart and the soul of a person. That tonality can be further enhanced when really people understand how their vocal apparatus is working. It's not just about the voice, or it's not about the sound, or it's not about the communication grammar, but it's about the way people are either tuned into that sound vibration or repelled. And this also applies to the family. If we all look at our own family members, you look at the responses the people give. Sometimes the responses are inviting, sometimes the responses are completely like putting off the person. So I recognize that half of the problems even in family is because of the way the people respond curtly, intentionally they might not, but they might put off the other person. So developing the awareness of how they can respond better is also the part of the voice coaching. I train the teenagers how to respond to a parent, or how to the parent just go and inspire the child in a better tone rather than compelling and forcing. So all the three zones are important for me. A bit impressing the audience as a trainer coach is one thing, and communicating at home where the voice is inviting rather than repelling, and for one's own expression, if their own sound can heal them and empower them and inspire them, then that voice is like an unleashed voice and fully in expression, and also seamlessly it is coming out of the throat chakra.
Wow, wow. This is amazing. This is a secret. I didn't know about your singing part. So, will we get a chance to hear some melodies during this session?
I'll try 4 lines then. I didn't plan for this.
Okay. So, what does a family, well-being mean, in this entire agenda? Because you're working with the teenagers, you're working with the parents as a parenting coach. So you basically covered everybody. So how important is this for the entire family and they having a good life?
Yeah. So what I noticed is when the children are small, children are turning teenagers, as long as the parent is not nudging, scolding, the family is really happy. But sometimes the results and progress is not happening. So the parent does not scold, the child comes and says, I love you, mama, I love you, papa. It's like, so beautiful. And the moment you start correcting, you start asking them to do the work and all, then we can see that, all the things start changing. So in order to get that well-being, I would bring in the element of a balance or the polarity of both love and support and also challenging the children. So both mother and father should believe in the concept that we bring in uh, the model of love, support, and also bringing out the best, extracting the best, the fullest potential of the child. So there, if mother believes that my husband is simply scolding my children, and if she is coming from the space of the warmth, then always the husband would be treated as a wrong person, even in the wife's mind or the children's mind. Same way, it can happen with the wife also against the husband or vice versa. So if the wife and husband believe that we bring in this model into our home, each family is different. There's no one standard model. Depending on what they want, now when they understand that model, then that moves into a communication model. First is what do you want, what do I want, what do our children want, and also recognizing their strengths and which field the child is cut out for. When they understand, now the communication model comes in. Like earlier when my husband used to scold my children, I used to get very angry thinking that why is he so harsh sometimes. But he would say no, I am bringing out something best and you do not interrupt that. So now later on my communication model says that it's like, don't feel sad if your dad is scolding would be an older version. Now my communication says, who else would correct you? Who else would be interested in bringing out the best? So your dad is showing that sort of an interest in you. And had you done something told in the first go, then he wouldn't have scolded you. So it is your responsibility that you show up to that smaller expectation. And I'm raising the value of my husband also. At the same time, I'm saying that we love and care for you, but we are not just allowing you to just simply while away the time and not miss the window period. So structure of what the family wants and the communication model, how a wife is imparting and the husband is imparting, that would lead into the well-being of the family. Otherwise, it is like chaotic. And I struggle there because everybody struggles. No family is a perfect family. So I also don't belong to a perfect family, nor a perfect parent or a perfect child. In that struggle, I recognize that if the communication model is enhanced, but after understanding the whole family model, then it definitely becomes the well-being a part of it, natural well-being, rather than conflicting and stressful situations.
So, Sunita, you would have met so many parents in this journey, right? So many parents, so many cases, so many complaints about kids about the parents and vice versa.
Yeah.
What are the new insights that you've learned? Which otherwise, as a mom, you were not. You didn't know that this was important, or you didn't know that this had a definition. You didn't know that this scenario would have been handled, differently. But something which is very new to you, and with this particular education, this particular role, you could identify and see it through all these new families that you have interacted.
Yeah. So apart from the outside world challenges, majority all the families have the similar challenges even now. Not only the previous generation, outside challenges, technological challenges, and these are very different. But what I understood is from the parental point of view, especially what majority mistakes mothers make is all the time they want to be really loving and they want to cover up the mistakes of the children. So including me, I also have done that, just to not make the child feel bad. But later on, I understood that somebody has to pinpoint the correction parts, and majority of them feel that the child will automatically learn. But just by pinpointing certain things, the child will be aware that somebody is telling it repeatedly, so I need to look at it. So that is something which is missed out. And every time, or when the problem became bigger, all the time parents came and said to me, I'm scared to tell this to my child now. I see that the door is open, the child is in a good mood, and he's accessible. I said, no, it is not that much of caution you don't require. How much you love your child, take the moments. If you have to say something, scold then and there. You have to let them know, but not wait for that perfect time that he or she has to be really in good mood, and I don't want that. So majority of the people felt scared to say something. Then I literally started teaching the parents to retain that bit of parental authority. Do not be scared to exercise that authority in a healthier way. That is one thing. And second thing is, what I noticed in all these years is, children, because the phones and the technology is at their hands, they are not able to recognize something. If the mother is unwell, father is feeling sad, they can't read the emotions. They lost that ability. So now the parent has to go and tell them, you know what, my tummy is hurting or my head is aching. They can't. Earlier, people used to say somebody is like upset or sad. They say, oh, what happened? You're not well today. Did you have a bad day? But now majority of them are not able to perceive or look into that, because continuously the phone is in hand. They are lost into that. So I'm recommending parents to educate, telling them the day and how they're feeling. And that is also solving a couple of the modern day problems, especially which the technology is bringing into the homes. And all the time, parents have used a word like, so much we are doing for our children than our parents, but they don't respect us. So then I feel, what is the missing gap is not able to sense the subtle emotional changes and charges happening. And children are fine. Even if the parents scold, they can brush off and say, back to the phone, back to the room, back to their
virtual world.
Headphones. They are not at all affected in any way.
Yeah, I think they're more into the virtual world most of the time, and not seeing the reality. I think that applies to us also, because when we get into the phone, we get lost, trying to impress others, and it's an ocean, and then we don't know, like my wife would be saying that, I have a headache, and she's sitting and I am like focused and commenting on somebody. I'm like, okay, but not the early days of response saying that, oh, can I do something, or can I bring something, can I help you with some way. I think that is something which I think everybody in the family are losing, lost in the virtual world. It's a good point. It's a very good point. So friends, we have a video which talks about we've seen a video of what Sunita does. Now let's see the video of what Sunita does, and what's the impact that this made to them personally. So here is a short video.
And very first time I started appreciating. And then the feminine energy was totally new to me. And when you said, who is that who's inspiring you? None of them came to my mind, because that unconscious I was to look up to someone and be like that. I couldn't even find a single person. I felt sad for that. Then I took you as a person, same vibe.
I've started to smile at myself. I've started to be happy about myself. I've started to express myself. I was a very quiet girl, but now I talk a lot. My husband is surprised that I am talking a lot. And I am starting to enjoy myself.
If you want a record and send it to you, Sunita, I know, like I think I told you, right? It's like, I know there's a swelling on my body. It'll go. But deep inside, my bones are very, very strong. That's what you have given me. That's what this program has given me.
I know I have a lot of potential. I have a lot of capability. But I was always, doubting myself inside. I would take 2 steps forward, then I would take 3 back. I had this confusion in me, but the kind of universal clues that I was getting, especially during this course, they have been like, they have given me the assurance that I'm on the right path.
Seeing window, I just keep saying I am feeling gracefully beautiful and I am beautiful. You know, that itself starts giving me a positive energy and positivity and more to face the day with lots of enthusiasm. So that is really, I'm experiencing a wonderful things with that.
Okay, what is the shift I am seeing? Oh my God. When Sunita ji was telling, we were just listening, but when we started experiencing, we are living in the moment. The life is so blissful, happy. We definitely have challenges, but she's teaching us techniques how to tackle them easily, how to get back to balance quickly. We are realizing, okay, this is stressful situation. What we need to do? Okay, we need to align. This is a great learning for me, and I'm experiencing this every moment. Chanting blessing group, or every group she shares it openly. There is no like this group, that group. Everyone is equal to her. That is also one of the things, not from the course, but looking at her, I learned it, I picked it up. It's miracle, support, experiencing every moment. You will start living in the moment, present moment. I'm really getting that vibration inside me. And yesterday was the best moment and best miracle which has happened to me.
Getting my feminine energy back, or balancing both. And it has helped me for my self-discovery and with a relationship with myself and my husband and my children.
From the anger point of view, that I understood now. So that I am changing to being in a peaceful state and a loving state. I want to do whatever I want to achieve.
What I didn't know earlier is identification of feminine and masculine states in me, accepting myself and my internal beauty. So that acceptance of myself is something, you know, it's like it's very hard even to express it. So overwhelmed, moment to moment, right? It was so hard being in the moment and observing miracles. I'm enjoying every aspect of it and feel, okay, how blessed I am to have all of this in my life, right? And so many of us are realizing that our life has changed. The creativity flow is just overwhelming to myself. And how life has changed because of all those things is, one is, there used to be a lot of confusion. Okay, am I doing this right or wrong, right? Those kind of things. So I see a lot of clarity these days. And because of that, the productivity has amazingly improved. So the same 24 hours, I'm doing a lot more things. One of the best coaches you will ever find in your lifetime is Sunita. So she's guiding throughout, and any coach, they will deliver whatever they need to do, right? Beyond that, what I've seen is she showers all the knowledge she has got.
So I have shifted myself, like I'm trying to balance. I'm trying to be more graceful, and more than doing, I'm enjoying and try to do more on that.
Wow, those are wonderful testimonials, Sunita. So one of the parents, I think one of the lady was talking about feminine and masculine thing in herself. I didn't understand that part. Maybe, you know, if you can clarify. I mean, do we need? I mean, you don't have to take us through the program now, but you know, do females also have these two in them?
Yeah. So just like, you know, while I was going to the families, then I thought first children need, then I thought parents need help because they're experts in their own domains. But later on, what happened is the parental raising, half of the beautiful insights come from the compatibility between male and female, husband and wife. And that is where this piece has come into picture. I was thinking, why so many conflicts in spite of, you know, the most advanced thinkers and people who can really solve big problems? Why not at home? And I got the answer through this masculine feminine energy. And I felt nobody has taught me, like, you know, my mother, my grandmother, same way, many people are not teaching that. And how the family structures are going is most of the feminine women are moving into the masculine energy. Meaning to say, because we want to be result oriented, we want to think logically, and slowly the disowning of the feminine started happening. Meaning to say, women also have masculine and feminine energy. Men also have masculine and feminine energy. That is when we have the balance, we can have both the logical and the creative side in balance. So when the feminine started disowning the feminine side and started moving into the masculine zone, then they started really achieving, because in order to achieve, it has to be goal oriented mind, logical thinking, then you're not emotionally affected. But at the same time, the love, compassion, what all the elements home needs, that starts slowly vanishing. Namesake, the mother say, I care for you, I love for you, but the feel is lost in the process. And most of the women have started closing the intuitive center of themselves, creative center. So this knowledge has started giving them how to really complement the energies at home, how to really, though I'm educated, though I'm successful, though I can do so many things, but for the home it requires a complementing energy of masculine and feminine, where there is warmth, love, care, attention, and also the all the logical side, goal setting, all this from the masculine perspective. When that balance is there, what happens is women are also coming back to the home. Unlike, imagine you have a car, and the car is meant to commute, right? There is a car which goes with the fuel as petrol, and there's a car which goes with the fuel as diesel. But if I pour diesel into a petrol car, or if I pour petrol into the diesel car, we know the fuel is not allowing the car to move. Same way, when we have a masculine body, feminine body, the fuel is there, the feminine fuel, the masculine fuel. If we understand that, a majority of the women can start living fulfilling lives and not feeling that empty, or feeling like, completely intuition shut off. So a lot of the vital energy starts flowing through them. Otherwise, majority of the endocrine glands are shrinking, and it is affecting the thyroid, it is affecting the ovaries. There's so many glands which are getting affected. So I'm helping all the women, while you are knowledgeable, well-read, successful, while you're achieving, accomplishing, while you're doing all these, how do you retain your beautiful feminine gifts? And in that space, how can also children blossom? Because it's like the sunshine, the feminine energy is like the sunshine. If there is sunshine, everything else blossoms in that space. So also I'm telling how to understand the masculine at home. And not only there does not end the story, even the masculine has to be taught how to understand the feminine, how to respect them, how to honor them, how to care for them, and how to sense them. So that knowledge is what is required for us and also the future generations. That's when people believe in the institution of marriage and taking it forward. Otherwise, I have interviewed all the young teenagers. Everybody said, so much of conflicts we see at home.
They don't want to get married.
What for? Why should we get into that? So that serves the complete this puzzle. Feminine and masculine knowledge solves the puzzle.
Superb, superb. I like this discussion. So I would be part of some of these workshops which are related to this, especially at this particular topic. Do let me know when you have this in future, because this is very interesting, and whatever you talk about with respect to working women having, they're really achieving well. They give priority to their masculine energies, and then they really do well. But inside, either they're suffering, or they give the same approach at home, and then they feel, it's not that they do it and they are happy about it. They also have that guilt feeling. They're saying that I did not behave properly with the kid, and then they realize it later after the action is done. So I've seen this with a lot of my friends. So I can connect what you're saying, and this is very important, I think, especially for women entrepreneurs, or working women, and maybe they have to set timing, saying that, hey, if you're working, when you're coming back home, remove that avatar, be a simple mom. Or now everybody is working from home, so only during working hours you take that rule, and then come back to normal. But yeah, I think this education is very critical for both men and women. I think this is required. So how do you
insight, when you ask the new insight, then I started teaching this to my children also, because unless they have the knowledge, the future generations would not know how to respect men and women. All of them need the next boys, girls, everybody needs this knowledge, because everybody learning more about artificial intelligence, going to space, Mars, everything is there. But this knowledge is now critical for stable homes.
Yeah. Very rightly said. Somebody said, right, मतलब दुनिया चेंज करने आए हो, पहले मतलब घर को सेट करो, and then you can think of the entire world. So how do you come up with these programs? So you see there is a gap, you see there is a problem, and then you come up with the program. So, and what are the programs you're offering right now? Maybe if we can discuss that, it will be helpful for us and the audience who are watching.
Right. So I'm offering parenting essentials as one workshop, just for parents to be aware of what they can just be aware of the steps and indicators. So parenting essentials, this is not like out of the space information, but just to be aware of whether we are doing something appropriately or something is getting missed out in our routines. And I offer one-on-one coaching. Then I also offer a program, Teen Success, with the co-trainers. And later on, I have developed this Inner Sacred Beauty program. And now I'll be coming up with a program even for men and fathers as to how to really balance again the other part at home. It's required. A lot of women who have taken Inner Sacred Beauty, now we are learning all this now. What about our husbands? So that is a new program which would come up, and also the voice development program. And I'm doing free programs over Telegram, teaching Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama, Ashtalakshmi Stotram, Shivatandava Stuti. I'm encouraging a lot of the younger generation to start chanting and reap the benefits of chanting powerful shlokas and mantras, be it at least 3 minutes a day. So all these are free over Telegram. And I do some free sessions on every Friday, abundance chanting sessions. If anybody is interested, they can definitely be part of those Zoom sessions on every Friday.
Wow, this is interesting. So now coming to the point. So do we get a chance to hear something melodious from you?
Definitely. So though I didn't plan and prepare for it, so whatever is on the top of my mind, I will.
Yeah, your favorite song, where you're the best.
मैं कोई ऐसा गीत गाऊं कि आरज़ू जगाऊं, अगर तुम कहो तुमको बुलाऊं, पल के बिछाऊं, कदम तुम जहां जहां रखो, ज़मीं को आसमां बनाओ, सितारों से सजाओ, अगर तुम कहो.
Wow.
Thank you.
I should have guessed. The first time I spoke to you, I should have guessed that, she is into singing. Because the modulation which you use, the soothing way of talking, I think people can make out. I think I've started making out who is a singer, who's not.
Thank you.
So Sunita, we have another short video which talks about, I think, chanting which you do. So I will play that for our friends, and then let's get back to a few more questions.
I want all of you to tune into your energy of love and light in your heart. I open my consciousness, my abundance consciousness, to receive abundance in all dimensions of my life. And bring your energy into that number. So your name and the number 808. Tune into your best self and hold that image and that vibration in your consciousness. Divine B, Divine B, Divine B, Divine B. Now place your hands on your heart center and you say, I anchor all the three: divine order miracles, divine order success, divine B, and I open my abundance consciousness to receive abundance in all dimensions of life. 808,
1111 2190 528 and say thank you universe, thank you universe, thank you universe.
Wow. What was that number, Sunita?
These are divine angel numbers. So it's like they're divine codes. Often we can connect with ourselves. We can be in our home, and we can just feel that home is where our boundary ends, or the workplace. But as we are moving little deeper on the spiritual path, we understand that there is a lot more deeper connection with the universe, with the nature, with the sky, with the earth, and all the time we can receive the universal clues, or whatever snippets which we are looking for, and suddenly some clue occurs in front of us. So there are numbers, and they are also having certain energies. So 1111 is a very, very powerful manifestation number. So generally all of our group people, we chant it 1111 either in the morning or evening, and 808 is a very powerful abundance number. And if you look at 8, it's an infinite number. And when you look at 0, it indicates that I am wholesome, I'm complete, I am divine. It's like innumerable number of possibilities. And in my most amazing state, that is not broken state or distorted state, but where we have actually gathered ourselves. Like, as we go through life, we feel that some parts of us are missing or something is lost. That's why we feel, where are we moving ahead sometimes? But when we experience the wholesomeness and completeness, what all we can create with this human body, and I feel the human life is a human marvel, and the possibilities are innumerable, and we have the life in our hands, and that makes our life abundant because we are the creators of our life. And Aham Brahmasmi and 808 is a very, very powerful abundance number. So that time also we all chant as a group. And all these are powerful numbers. 528 is a frequency of love number. 2190 is a success number. So we generally write, or at least somebody needs a prayer or ask for anything, we also wish them and put the number there.
Wow. So we as friends can also work on, if somebody is not well, let's say somebody is critical. So can the entire group work and pray for a specific person?
We do that. We do that as a group chanting. If anybody puts a request in the name of the person, we send a prayer during certain timings.
That's so nice of you, because that's really required. Yeah, because one of our friend recently was admitted. He was critical, and the entire community was praying for him, and it worked. I know it worked. So I know the importance of that. So nice of you. You're doing this frequently, not only on special occasions. You are also encouraging people to do it. That's so nice of you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Atam. Thank you very much.
So Sunita, how can people connect with you? How can they reach you if they need any help with respect to either parental or coaching, or help with their teens or kids, help with public speaking, or as you said, voice coaching, or the free service which you're doing for the community with respect to the chanting?
Yeah. So my number is 988655250. They can message me on WhatsApp or Messenger. Then I have my website, Sunitaa.com. So they can reach out and they can enroll in any of the programs. Then they can take up free programs, or they can avail my service of coaching for either parents, for self, or for healing, whatever they feel it's required in the domain of the family and the self.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Sunita. Thanks a lot, friends, for watching this and being with us on this particular show. I've learned a lot. There are a lot of things which I have a new definition now. I have a new meaning of things to do, not only as a parent, but also as what should be the future, and, how do we, use some of these divine energies to, move forward smoothly and be happy. I personally like the life message which you give, Sunita. I think you put that in the description. So I also love that, the meaning of life. So overall, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, friends, for watching this. Do connect with Sunita if you need any help. It's always better. The one thing I would like to conclude with is it's always better to take help rather than being sorry later. So let's fix issues when we have time. Right now, all of us have time. All of us have challenges. Let's take time to fix it. And that's when you give importance to your family. So it's just not about parents, it's about the entire family. So thank you, friends. Thank you, Sunita ji. Awesome meeting you.
Very much. Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you very much, one and all.
Thank you. Bye.